Hello, it's me Marcel again from Germany, and my speech is about prejudices, what Germans think about Americans. And I want to build up my speech like this. I want to talk first about negative prejudices. After that I would like to talk about positive prejudices, and at the end about neutral or even funny prejudices that Germans have towards Americans or America. So we start first with the negative prejudices, and the first one is materialism, overconsumption, and extreme capitalism. And I think that's true. America is a economic power in the world, and yes, I have a diagram here that says in 2010, the diagram is from 2010. It says that USA is on first rank with a GDP of 14.7 trillion dollars, and in comparison to that, Germany has a GDP of 3.3 trillion dollars. And yeah, Americans may be seen as caring about nothing but money. That's a prejudice, and judging everything by its economic value, scorning those of lower socioeconomic statuses. Okay, so the next negative prejudice is gun-loving, violent culture. And yes, a lot of people, or nearly everyone I know from America has a gun, and of course people use their guns for hunting. Others use it only for self-protection, or don't even use it, just have it in their cupboard. And yeah, but of course USA has the highest death rates, and the United States is ranked number 1 with a gun ownership rate of 18.8, and Kentucky leads also the nation with the most gun owners. But yes, for the hunters in 2012, 15.7 million Americans older than 6 went hunting, and that's also a lot. The next negative prejudice is arrogance and boastfulness. Americans seem to be arrogant and egomaniacal, and US President Barack Obama also said that Americans has shown arrogance, being dismissive and even derisive. That's what he said in a speech. The next negative prejudice is unwarranted military intervention. Yeah, Americans want to be the policemen of the world, and yes, believing that the entire world needs their help, even if it means military intervention and civilian casualties. But I'm not really sure. I think that Americans really are an intervention that really depend on them and their countries, or relate to them. So I don't think that they want to care about everything, about things that don't belong to them or don't relate to their problems. So it's a prejudice. And the next negative prejudice is fast food and obesity. The fact is, I've got another diagram. It says United States is on the first rank of all countries in the world with the highest rate of obesity. It says that more than 30% of all Americans are obese. Yes, and 28% of Americans dine at fast food restaurants at least once per week. That's a fact. Another fact is that 16% visit McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut and equivalent restaurants several times per week. And 33% of people admitted paying a visit at least once or twice a month. So now we start with the positive prejudices, and the first one is friendliness. Friendliness. And that's true. Americans are really friendly. I experienced that due to the fact that I study already for 2 years in the United States, and yeah, travelers, German travelers, might think that this is too much, they are too friendly somehow, but after a time you experience that this is just the way Americans are. Americans are really friendly. And there is a quote from Raymond Thornton Chandler, really well-known American novelist and screenwriter, and he said, "The keynote of American civilization is a sort of warm-hearted vulgarity. The Americans have none of the irony of the English, none of their cool poise, none of their manner, but they do have friendliness. Where an Englishman would give you his card, an American would very likely give you his shirt." That also shows the friendliness of Americans. So the next positive prejudice is hardworking, and yeah, Americans are stereotyped as hardworking people, and whether in their jobs or other matters. And a diagram that I researched says the average hours worked per person per year, and Americans work per year in average 1,700 hours. Americans work 1,700 hours per year. In comparison to that, Germans work 1,400 hours per year. So the next positive prejudice is team spirit in sport. Americans are known for their fighting and awesome team spirit in sports, and that's also what I can say, because I played also in soccer in the NAIA, and it was an unbelievable spirit, team spirit. People push everyone and they motivate each other. That's what I really liked, and what I can say is really American. So now we come to the neutral funny prejudices, and the first one is actually really funny. The quarterback is only in a relationship with a cheerleader. That's really what a lot of Germans think, because they see it in movies or in films where they see the quarterback just going out with the cheerleader, but that's not the truth, because I also experienced that. There was a quarterback, or the quarterback of my university at Weber, where I studied first. The quarterback was in a relationship with a non-student, and so that is not really true. The next neutral prejudice: college parties are crazy. Alcohol consumption, beer pong, flip cup, and so on. And Germans think like that because they watch a lot of movies like American Pie or Project X, where you see really hard parties. Next neutral or funny prejudice: all school buses are yellow. Germans say that because they watch the series The Simpsons, and the school bus is always yellow, and that's a fact, and I have the explanation right here. The color, which became known as school bus yellow, was selected because black lettering on that specific hue was easiest to see in the semi-darkness of early morning and late afternoon. That's why all school buses are yellow in America. The next one: first the policeman points the gun at you and then he speaks. It's also a prejudice because of movies where you see really violent policemen who point the gun at someone and really force someone to hold up the hands. And yeah. The next one is housing, a neutral prejudice towards housing. Americans enter their house only through the garage, and that's a fact. I've been to a family, I lived there for a month, and they really mostly used the door in the garage, and they parked their car in the garage and then they entered the house through the door in the garage. Of course, Americans have a front door, but they mostly use the door in the garage. The next prejudice, the neutral prejudice, every house looks the same. A garage, garden and a pool. But yeah, that's a prejudice. It looks really like this in a suburbia, in an American suburbia, but of course not every house has a pool or a garden. So, and the last neutral prejudice is Americans do not know where Germany is, or they have no knowledge of Germany. And that was really funny because someone really asked me, where are you from, and I said I'm from Germany, and then he asked, did you drive by car? And that was actually shocking, because you should know that Germany is overseas and you can't drive by car. And there was another one who asked me, is Hitler still your president? Adolf Hitler. And that shocked me as well. You should know that he died in World War II, so he can't be the president of Germany, and he was a chancellor, so he was not even a president. So prejudices occur when you don't know the whole thing. You just know a part of the whole thing, and you start stereotyping. And of course, you, as a German, you cannot know every American person, so you want to explain the whole thing by creating prejudices. And of course, not every single person is the same, or everything Germans say towards Americans is true. So prejudices are always there, everyone prejudges, so it's a normal thing. So thank you very much for hearing my speech and for the attention, and I wish you all the best in this class. Thank you very much.